And we're live. Hello, pre-show Facebook type people. How are you tonight?
Okay, Monday evening.
Yes, Monday evening. And Park Mania is already like, let's go Pens. Well, I'm a fan of pencils personally, Parkman. No, I'm just kidding. We do sports ball here. We're not, we're not those type of geeks. I mean, we will allow for sports ball.
I don't watch a lot of hockey, but I do like playoff hockey.
Yeah, I've always kind of been the same way, too. It kind of falls into that, post-football, got to watch something, and baseball is too damn boring. So let's watch some hockey. And I'm kidding. If you love baseball, I did not mean to insult your sport. Dear God, calm down.
I'm insulted.
Yeah, just because you pushed off our box opening so that you can watch the Mets no-hitter.
Hey, I mean, it only happened once in the prior 61 years. Who knows when it's going to happen again?
Exactly. It happened once in the last 61 years. Who knows what's going to happen again? I accidentally hit the countdown button. Sometimes having a stream deck is not all it's cracked up to be. So, all right.
Well, the good thing to note is that I haven't taken any cards out of the Riveteers deck. So if I need to play that, I don't have to do anything to play that.
Yeah. And I think I've got 2 or 3 decks that are prepped. So we'll be talking about it in the show, but we are talking about our pre-con show that's happening Wednesday for Commander Craft. If you're listening to this and you like that, you want to play and you have a webcam or, a laptop and a phone, like come join us. Come be a part of things. Okay. So, yes, we have... The doc looks good, I think, right? We kind of did it on the fly here just now. It's going to be an interesting show, guys. I'm going to tell you right now. This is going to be one of those. We're not planning for it to go over tonight. We're kind of stretching some things out. So
plan for it.
Yeah. That's usually the week when, we go like 30 minutes over. So
yes.
Okay. So let's see here. Oh, wow. MTG Goldfish does have an Explorer metagame. That has absolutely nothing in
it. maybe I play the Maestros deck just because it has Rekindling Phoenix. Who knows?
Oh, yeah. You do love that Rekindling Phoenix.
My favorite card.
The only way I could watch the NBA would be if they changed the rules to be a 2-minute clock and 2 fouls and you're out. And Star Trek stuff. Oh, yeah, so we do talk Star Trek stuff. But that's more the post-game show, When we're kind of done with the episode, and we this is all for you patrons or for those of you watching live. This does not go out through the main feed. So, hello patrons and patrons.
Basketball.
Oh yeah, patrons. You're getting a whole bunch of stuff. I'm editing down. So we'll talk about it in the main. But I drove out to Oswego. I recorded for an hour on Star Trek, because I did a ride home with Will. Because we don't really have them anymore. Because my ride home would be like, all right, I'm going up the stairs. Peace out, So, I recorded like a ride home with Will on Star Trek, and yeah, it turned into like basically I spent half of it talking about Picard, and then the other half just gushing over New World. So, okay, we have got quite a bit. Oh shoot, hold on one second. Entertain the people, Aramis. I forgot one small part.
You want me to entertain the people? See, this is the part where he always forgets something, and it's probably his beer. I'm going to guess that's what it is. And he's going to make some noises in the background and then come back with a beer. Here it comes. No, a triple night. We're doomed.
Are you entertaining the people still?
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
You're talking bad about me to our patrons.
Totally. Absolutely.
Right. I'm down with that.
That's exactly what I was doing.
I have a Tyrion, too. If swear to God, Cat, if you knock my beer over, you and I are going to have a problem. Oh, you almost bit me? Oh, we have to talk, buddy. Yes, he's just sitting right here. Okay, so... All right, I think... Oh, I got to open Mixpad, don't I? So that we could record this. Even though I've been using pretty much the local recording lately. So...
Almost dropped it. That wouldn't have been good.
Almost dropped it. That's what she said.
That wouldn't have been good. So I got a foil out of the box where like the foiling was like almost peeling off.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Luckily it wasn't a good card. But,
yeah. So. Oh, that cat. I'm beginning to think I got to let him out. All right. Entertain the folks for 30 more seconds. Let me let this cat outside because he's going to be a pain in my ass. Come on, Tyrion. Let's go. Come on.
This is a completely professional broadcast. We do this for years and years. Never ever make a mistake. I mean, I know I do all the time, but that's how it goes. Star Trek is great. Everything is great. NBA kind of sucks. Don't really like the NBA. College basketball is nice. Like watching March Madness. Just checking to see if I have any missing cards from any of these pre-cons, so I know which ones I have to pull cards out of the other deck that I had built for our postponed flights appearance, which we will eventually do. I'm not sure exactly when. So that's what that's about. Here he is.
All right, I'm back. Thank you for entertaining our masses. Sorry about that. Don't you love when I make you talk like by yourself and you don't have anybody to bounce off of? And
yeah, I hate it.
me, on the other hand, I could just babble. So, but that cat would have started the. He's also the meower. He would have been like. So I'm like,
right from music.
Yeah.
He's singing you the song of his people.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I think we're ready to start recording. So, all right. Okay. All right. Red button?
Give me a second to find it. Yes.
Yeah, that's what she said. All right. All right, let's see here. Hold on, let me put my watch on so I can tell time. All righty. Let's start recording in 3, 2, 1. Oh, wait. Hold that thought.
Oh, almost. That didn't let go of the button. We're good.
All right, cool. I didn't have anything set to record. It would have been empty files. All right.
Nice.
3, 2, 1. Click. Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the PlanesTalkers podcast, the show by casuals for casuals. I'm your host, Will Benson, joined as always by my, well, at least it stopped snowing, but anytime now it could get warmer than 35 at night, co-host Aramis Perez. Aramis, sir, how are you tonight?
I don't know what you're talking about. It's crisp over here. It's nice. I like it. We're in that sweet spot where I don't have to have the furnace isn't going to click on, so my audio will be a lot better for the next couple of weeks.
Oh, that's beautiful. Before we turn on your fan, and then it's
exactly. Yeah, it's just a brief window. This is where it is, folks. So
yeah, welcome to this. This is a sweet spot. All right. So, but before we begin, we'd like to remind you that this episode and every episode of the PlanesTalkers podcast is sponsored by Kerwin's Game Store. Kerwin's Game Store is New York State's premier source for collectible card games, tabletop games, miniatures, comic books, retro video games, and toys. With their clean, open gaming areas available to everyone in 3 locations, Kerwin's provides a fun and inviting atmosphere for new and experienced gamers alike. With locations in Catskill, New York, second floor of the Poughkeepsie Gallery in Poughkeepsie, New York, as well as their new store sitting in Nyack, New York, Kerwin's is the absolute best place to go in gaming. They have an awesome streamlined website. You can find them at KGS Online. That's KiteGoSamuelOnline.com. And you can now get 5% off any online order when you use the promo code PlanesTalkers at checkout. We also want to take a second to recognize our patrons. Our rare level patrons are Spencer, Chiba Tank, Bell, Levi, George, David, Brian, Apollo, Muertes, and Parkman, and Dragon D's Nuts. And we also can't forget our producers, John, Jake, Jamie, and Vic. John, Jacob, Jamie, and Vic. Yeah, see, it does work. I got it to work.
Yeah, you got to play with it a little bit.
You got to play with it because it's the Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, this can work. All right. We can't say enough greatness about these people. Like, they help the show out in just so many ways. They all get the opportunity, except for this week, to play in our Wednesday Commander Craft broadcast. If you want to get on that, just go to patreon.com/planestalkers. They also get the chance to be in our Winnabox promos. You and I will probably talk offline. I'm thinking because we have such a space between now and September when the next set comes out, we might want to put together some sort of July something and just, unsponsored. Current ones won't do it. We're doing it or something. We'll talk off air. And they get that as well as a bunch of other perks, as well as getting to hear our pre and post show shenanigans on their audio files. So find out more. Go to patreon.com/PlanesTalkers. And reminder, Commander Craft is our Wednesday show where we play listeners like yourselves using webcams, and it's basically 4-person Commander over spell table. This week is kind of cool because usually, Commander broadcasts, everybody gets a little nervous, but we've always kind of done these periodic pre-con shows where we'll take pre-con decks from the set that's out, unaltered, and we'll try to get 2 rounds in. So it tends to go a little slow because it tends to be a little dirtily, so we might only get 1, but we're playing... Huh?
I got to interrupt you.
Yeah?
There's a thing you need to do.
There's a thing I need to do? I don't have...
Need to do.
Oh, is she... Did we get a... Oh, we did. Hello.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Hello, Pam. Sorry. I don't have this chat. I got the chat over here because that's where it goes for Commander Craft, which is the last time we broadcast. Let me switch that. But anyway, Commander Craft Wednesday night is going to be for precons. So if you have one of the new competitive precons, we would love to have you guys join us this week. There's still time. We haven't finalized yet. We're going to be finalizing tonight, though. So get into our Discord. Let us know you want to play. There's actually a channel for it. Discord.planestalkerspodcast.com. Otherwise, we're going to have a great night. We're looking for... So Wednesday night will be our pre-con show. Next week, we are probably back one more week remote because Dave caught COVID, full-blown COVID. So, thank you, COVID, for one thing, is that, we can use full-blown now with something other than AIDS. He has full-blown COVID. And just a horrible joke. Huh? But think about it.
Point of the pandemic. Okay.
I mean, think about it. AIDS kind of ruined full-blown. Like before AIDS, you used full-blown for a lot of things. But now you hear full-blown, your brain immediately goes to AIDS. So, and now it's going to COVID. See, I'm bringing it back. All right, moving on. So Dave has full-blown COVID. So we might take next week as well, which will be your deck, if I'm not mistaken.
Sakama, yeah.
Yeah, fucking Sakama. Or hookers, full-blown hookers. Oh, geez. And Parkman comes in with the audible. All right. We've talked about AIDS, hookers, and COVID right in the pre-show. Yay. Okay, we are also proud to be the flagship podcast for the PlanesTalkers network of podcasts. Our sister show, Cantrip Cartel, has launched. They're on Anchor at anchor.fm/Cantrip Cartel, and you can download them on most podcatchers. And they're also on our Discord, but I do know for a fact they have started building their own. So they're still going to be a major part of ours, but once I get their Discord name or a shortcut or whatever, I will definitely advertise that. Finally, we are proud to announce that we are a part of the Geek to Geek Media Network. This is a network of geeky podcasts and other content dedicated to promoting positivity and inclusion, as well as just showcasing some really great stuff. Whatever you're into, they probably have some way to talk about it. Everything from K-pop to Keanu Reeves to all sorts of funness. You'll hear about it later, right before combat. And no, you can't skip it, Parkman. But, just find out more, go to geek2geekmedia.com. But we are still in Untap, and I decided tonight that given the climate in America right now, nothing beats a triple IPA. So I'm drinking tonight Ober Creek's More Political Flow. And Aramis, my friend, how the hell are you?
See what you did there.
See what I did there? Aha.
I saw what you did there. I'm doing really well. Things have been going good. The weather has turned for the better. It's going to be pretty warm this week. A little bit of an early taste of August in May, which I guess I can't complain because, the alternative is, February, and that's terrible for everyone.
It feels like there should be a middle ground, though.
Yeah,
I miss things like spring and fall. I really do.
I mean, like today was actually, believe it or not, about an average day. It's about where we're supposed to be, maybe like a degree or two warmer.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be in the low 70s now. And today was just gorgeous.
It
Like,
really
not
was.
much.
I almost worked outside half the day, and then I was like,
It was, there wasn't much of there was a bit of a breeze. The humidity was low, but that's fine. It was really, really pleasant. Took the kid out to the park. We walked around town a little bit. They've been doing some construction in town, so there's some new buildings going up down by the river. So it looks really nice down there.
is there a van down there?
Of course, there's always vans down there.
There's a van down by the river?
Always a van down by
There's
the river.
plenty of time to live in that van down by the river.
Yeah,
When you're living in that van down by the river. Thank you, Chris.
down by the river.
Thank you. These are
The
the
weekend
jokes,
was good.
folks.
We went up to a local farm, and he was able to see some baby animals, which was really cool. We fed some chickens, had some turkeys look at us funny. Didn't know they made that noise when they puffed up.
Oh, yeah.
Like when they do that whole display thing, they make this weird like
Yeah.
noise, and it's really kind of strange. And they're like glaring at you with their
They're trying to
beady little
scare you.
eyes. Yeah, and I'm like, you're delicious. Stop it.
And then they want to
I don't even
fight
like
you.
turkey that much.
They want to fight you for 15 minutes across all sorts of places. It's just a fish fight. Oh wait, no, that's the chicken on Family Guy. Never mind.
And the Canada geese would kick his ass anyway. So that was good. I went to Kerwin's on Friday night for Commander. That was really, really fun.
Yeah,
Big
they had
turnout
a
for
night.
Commander.
Yeah.
Almost 24 people showed up for Commander on Friday night. They raffled off one of those yellow Hidetsugus, which is pretty cool. So yeah, it was a lot going on, and it was a lot of fun. And I'm glad to be back here recording because we took last week off. But
Yes.
everything's great. Everything's good.
and-
So what about you?
I'm going to address that. And let me just say this right now, folks. Okay, we've hit May. We've hit the last standard set for a while.
A while.
Yeah, as we are wont to do in the summer. And our sponsors know this. Everybody kind of knows this. Patrons know this. Is that there will be weeks where we're going to take a look at content, and we're not going to put out BS. We're not going to put out crap. Okay, we're not going to sit here and go and try to stretch a topic for 40 minutes. That's just going to make you not listen to it in your car. So not only that, it's summer, so our families try to do stuff, or there's other things that can come up. So there may be weeks where, like we do know that the week of July 20th, obviously that's my anniversary. That's a big day for Aramis as well, his wife's birthday. So, we're dark that week. Both shows will be off the air. That's almost always a given. But there'll probably be a few more during the summer where we're just kind of take the week off, maybe from one show or the other, or maybe even from both shows. So just bear with us. That was really all that happened last week. Was we were just kind of like, there wasn't much going on, and so we just kind of felt like, hey, let's not put garbage content out. So that being said, I mean, obviously we're going into another spoiler season, them fuckers. And so that, we'll be around for the next few weeks, probably talking, we might pivot a little off of the standard. We'll still do State of Standard, but obviously we're going to talk Baldur's Gate, and then
Perpetual hype.
yeah, really, no kidding. But my week was, my 2 weeks were pretty good, overall. I can't complain. I'm teching a show, so I'm running sound for this kid's show at some point. I'm on call next week, which is going to be interesting. But so the boy calls us, and he tells us, "Hey, yeah, Dad's coming to get me, but a week from Friday." He's like, "But I sold my bins to my roommate who failed out when he came up because he wasn't prepared. So I let him move all his stuff out in my bins that I had here. So I have no way to pack." And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, this kid moved out in February. It is a week before break. Oh my God. So what do I do? Because I'm the stepdad and I'm a moron. I get in the car Saturday morning, and I drove up to Oswego, and I joke. It was great. I got to take him to lunch. Wendy is the music director for that show, so she had to stay and run rehearsal. So it was just me in the car, and I drove up, and I saw my kid, and I took a friend of his also out. We went to this little choke and puke diner and had some really great breakfast, and then we went to Walmart, got his bins. And...
Never heard that particular phrase before. Choke and puke diner. Can you elaborate on that?
Oh yes, it's here's the thing. I am a deep lover of 70s country music nostalgia type stuff, and
I'm sorry.
Smokey and the Bandit they call diners like that a choke and puke. I'm about to go into this choke and puke, and that's what they mean. It's just kind of this. It's this diner that looks like it should be the worst thing ever, but the food in it's really good. So, I had like
spoon hole in the
yeah,
wall.
exactly.
Right.
But the type of place that looks like it shouldn't have people in it, and yet their parking lot is always full. Like that,
there may or may not be several health code violations.
Yes, but you don't care because damn if any. I mean, I had a country fried steak that mama, and it was so cool to kind of spend time with him, and see him with a friend of his from school, like in his element, and how he's kind of, it was really neat. And then I went and saw my sister, and I saw the nephew who's, he's been living with her for a while now, and, her place is getting fixed up. And then I drove home, but I was gone for like 11 hours Saturday, and then we went out and saw my buddy's band. So yesterday I was just pretty much like, don't want to do nothing. I'm old. But, and
I mean, you kind of had to have done stuff yesterday, though, because wasn't yesterday Mother's Day?
Yes, so we did Mother's Day, and we took Wendy over to her parents' house. We realized her dad doesn't move very well anymore. He's missing a leg, so, and it used to be we'd bring everybody over here, and then it was like, why don't we just go there? We could sit outside. So, oh, hey, St. Nick, what's up? So St. Nick's playing game 2 probably Wednesday, by the way. So I'm wonderful, dude. If I were any better, there'd be 8 of me and we'd all be thin. So, yeah, we had a good Mother's Day. My dad's got COVID. That kind of sucks. It's his second run. So, I'm a little nervous, and he's in Arizona. So, it's like the old person capital of the West. So, but
it's Western Florida, and not quite
basically
so dumb.
Yeah. Oh no, they're pretty dumb there too. So.
Yeah, I mean, apologies to the people in Florida who have any sense, but Florida's Florida for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, Florida. There's a reason it's an armpit, and so yeah. So it's been a pretty good couple of weeks. I mean, we had our stream last Friday, not this past Friday, but the one before, where we did our showdown of New Capenna collector boosters, and spoiler alert if you hadn't seen the show, buy singles.
Yeah, although it was still fun.
Yeah, I don't know, Nick, how you get 2 of the same cards. Do you have 101 cards or do you have 99? Like, check that.
So Nick in the chat is talking about he picked up the commander decks for New Capenna, and he has a couple of duplicates. That is not an isolated incident. That happened to the professor on stream.
Right. Is it 101?
He had a video about
Is it 101 or did they take something like a land?
No, I think it's a collation issue. I think what happened, because it happened to the professor during his video for Is It Worth It to Buy?
Right.
I think it was the Obscura deck. Halfway through the deck, he got the first half of the deck again. So he got the first half of the deck twice. So he had like duplicates of like 30 cards.
Yeah, and of course Walmart will be like, you can't send this back, or wherever you got it.
Send that back, yeah. So it does happen, unfortunately. I would just double check to make sure you have 100 cards. And if you do have 100, then yeah, you've got a duplicate. You'll have to check and see what you're missing based off of the
deck list.
Off the deck list. So if it's something that you can replace, then cool. If not, we'll have to figure something out for Wednesday if that's the deck you end up playing.
Right. Well, we'll have you proxy over it. We'll have you put a piece of paper in the
proxy
sleeve
whatever the card that's missing. Yeah, put like a planes in there or whatever.
Yeah. So that's going to be Wednesday night. He's playing game 2. I think right now, again, unless we get some people signing up tonight, it looks like Muertes and Ian for game 1. Nick's going to slot in for game 2 if we have one. And I'm looking forward to it, though. I'm looking forward to the week. I was disappointed we didn't get to go out last week to, flights, but, get well, Dave. So let's go into upkeep, and let's talk a little bit about what the show is going to be tonight. So tonight's show is going to be a very interesting one. We are going to talk about, obviously, the state of standard with New Capenna cards. There has been some movement. Mono White Aggro has finally been defeated. It'll be back. And then we're going to kind of, it's an interesting thing. I'm going to put a Surgeon Generals on this. We are going to talk about the secret Lair announcement for Pride. We're not going to talk about the political hubbub around it. There are some people out there on Twitter and all that getting into fights and all this stuff. We're just going to kind of talk about the cards and how that's going to a good cause. And then we're going to pivot to the packaging, because that did come out this week as well. They're changing the packaging on secret Lairs. After some words from our lovely network, we're going to talk combat, and we're going to talk a little bit. I think we've had this combat before, but it bears repeating. We're going to talk a little bit about, do we feel there's too much back-to-back? We're already going into spoiler season again for Baldur's Gate. And then I think we'll have a couple of weeks, and then we're in spoilers for Double Masters. So, it's an interesting idea. And then main 2, we're going to talk a little bit about Baldur's Gate Commander Legends. The official previews start tomorrow, with preview week really going next week. And just kind of talk about what we're hoping for a little bit on that. Too much, too fast. Got to get those quarterly earnings in. You're not wrong, Where. Finally, we'll talk a little bit Explorer as well, because I'm kind of digging it a little bit. Standard's fun too on Arena again, but I played a little bit of Explorer, and we'll kind of go through that. So that's kind of our show tonight. So let's get into the main phase.
Main phase.
All right, main phase. So state of Standard. Standard has obviously shifted. We knew that. We knew mono white aggro was not going to stay on top after New Capenna, because New Capenna being a 3-color set, we also kind of had a feeling that 3 colors were going to be predominant. And I think that'll shake out. I don't think we'll stay 3 colors throughout this season. I think people are going to find 2 colors being a little more, a little bit more
Safer?
Yeah. Well, a little bit more consistent too. Even with the triomes, they come in tapped. Or not the triomes, but what we're calling them the triomes.
The triomes come in tapped.
Yeah, but we're not going to call them. They're not called triomes anymore. They each have a different name. They're triomes.
They're triomes.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they're kind of, we're looking at it, and we use MTG Goldfish again, by the way, for their rankings. And now we have,
Give me a rainbow, everyone knows it's windy.
All right, that's Wendy. Hi, honey. Hello. So we are looking at, right now, the top deck, which I can't say I'm surprised, because it was a powerful deck before that just needed 1 or 2 little thingies, and it got them with, I'm trying to see what kind of took it over. Fable was,
There's no the list that they show when you click on it doesn't show any Capenna cards.
It's very strange, yeah, because it feels like there should be.
Yeah, there should.
Oh,
be,
there is now. Yeah, okay. Nope, that
But-
one doesn't either. That's interesting.
No. Yeah, it's. I don't think there hasn't been an event that featured this. I guess that was reported. But they are like, if you look down into the cards that are typically
Well, no,
included in the
you
deck,
know what it is? There are cards. You know what it is? Jetmir's Garden. Yeah, it's the Triumph. The Triumph is made. Oh, and for those of you not looking, the Triumph, basically, and that can't be the real Phil Hellmuth, right? This is decked by Phil Hellmuth with 2 L's. That's not Phil Hellmuth, the poker guy.
could be.
That would be kind of really cool. Nick says hello, dear. That's Nick from Job Corps, Wendy, the Saint Nick of Ho Ho Ho. Okay, so yeah, like 9 enchantments came out of mothballs, and with Jetmir's Garden, I guess they feel that it's definitely more worthwhile. And well, the Wandering Emperor is always there. And Naya is, I'm surprised it doesn't have some of the family in there, because it feels like it should.
Well, that's because the Cabaret is kind of a token thing.
Yeah, that's true. So,
And I don't know if it really fits. Like sometimes a deck just says I have the cards that I need, and this new set doesn't really add anything for me. Although Jetmir's Garden is, the Triomes are incredible fixing. They're obviously better in formats where you can fetch them, but they're still
Right.
quite good.
is it using the other lands too, the fetch lands? That's a question.
No, I don't think those are seeing much play in Standard, and I don't think that they will.
Right. That's interesting.
Because
So,
those lands can't fetch the Triomes because they can only get basics
right.
of their respective shard.
Right. So the second deck, though, at 10.5%, So almost a full point and 2/10 ahead of mono white is definitely using some of, I do believe in it. Yeah, this one's definitely using New Capenna cards. It is Esper mid-range.
Yeah, this is heavy into the
New Capenna.
into the
Tenacious
New Capenna
Underdog, Rafine,
Rafine, the Obscure
Oscurious Interceptor, which I've now opened a full playset on those.
full set of Rafine's Towers.
Yeah. Vanishing Verse, which is not that. Meat Hook Massacre, that card is just still. That's gone up to $70.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yep. That card is
I need to get another
very
one.
pricey.
4 Rafines.
I don't have any.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for rotation.
And yeah, this deck, we thought it was going to go control with Esper.
Well,
And-
again, this kind of proves the point. I mean, these are kind of aggressive decks at the top. There is an Esper control deck, a couple of them towards the bottom, but these are more aggressive decks. New metas tend to favor aggressive decks.
Right. And while being a little mid-rangey, I'm happy to see mid-range back. I am. I feel you should have one of every archetype in the top 5, you know.
Well, Orzhov mid-range had been hanging around for a while. I mean, it's
Yeah.
5th now, but it was up in the top 3 for a bit too.
Right.
So I mean, it's not mid-range, and there was, there was mid-range with the Asika's Chariot.
Yeah.
So it hasn't. It's been up there. I think it's just control hasn't really. They had like a couple of weeks span where control was up there pretty high, but new set comes out, aggro and mid-range take over again because because control needs to figure out how to fight the new cards.
But I mean, we are seeing some change in that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 15. So almost 15% of the top 15 meta right now is tricolor. So obviously they're getting. I mean, Jeskai Control is not getting any help really from this. There's not a Jeskai shard on this set. But Jund mid-range and Bat mid-range certainly are.
Yeah, the wedges don't get any help on this one.
No.
And Nick is asking when Meat Hook Massacre got that high. It's been that high.
It's been pretty high, but
for
not
months.
that high. Like it was at 40, or it was like 40 last week.
It's been a $50 card for
Yeah.
this entire year at least.
Yeah. Meat Hook is still a thing.
Meat Hook's still a really good
It's
card.
so interesting to see Golgari control. Like, I get that doesn't have a lot in it. That's more of a Kamigawa, but the idea of a Golgari control deck, you're like, no blue, huh? No, you're not throwing the blue in there.
If it's doing that, that means it's board control.
I'm really surprised we're not seeing Grixis yet. Like, Grixis has not shown up.
I don't think the pieces are necessarily there. I mean, I think it would have shown up pretty well right away if that was the case.
Right. Mono red is kind of starting to. I mean, if I hit the view more, there is a mono red out there that's been starting to be built. Oh, Grixis control is sitting at 12, what is that? 7, 14.
Not relevant.
Yeah, 22. Yeah.
Yeah, not relevant.
Yeah. 4 color control. Ooh. Yeah,
most
people
of
are
these
trying
decks-
to make control happen.
Yeah, like once you get below like the top 10, most of these decks are like,
Yeah.
these are decks that people have specifically built to try to spike a tournament.
Yep. Like I love the idea of the Velomachus Reanimator. I'm like, okay, I'm cool with that. I mean,
Reanimate a coma.
yeah. So I think Standard is in this really cool spot again. It really is.
Yeah, Standard's been in a good spot for a while.
Nick,
didn't do anything.
bring that. I'll trade you like a bunch of cards for one. So, bring that when you come next time we see you. Yeah, this is a good Standard. 9 enchantments is like the old deck, but I mean this Esper mid range is. I think you're going to see that move to control though. I think it's
Maybe, yeah. I mean, it's what? It's been 1 week since the set officially released, and it released the same time as it did on Arena.
yeah
So we got it first in paper,
yeah.
technically. So I mean, there's going to definitely be some shifting. I don't know that control is going to move all the way up, but then again, this is a new Standard, so there's going to be some shuffling, and it's like you were saying, it's in a good spot. There's nothing there's no cards in standard right now that are like, oh my god, why is this still legal? Like Goldspan Dragon even is not that big of a deal anymore.
Right. I mean, the Wandering Emperor, or everybody's kind of talking Ob Nixilis is a target. Like, if they were like, if we're going to choose one card to get nailed. And I think when the meta shakes out, Obby's going to be a problem. Obby's a problem. When Obby falls on the board, you deal with one of them. You have to deal with one of them as soon as humanly possible.
I feel like Ob Nixilis might be more of a threat for maybe Modern or Pioneer.
I think with a 3-drop, it's also a threat in the standard.
It is, but I don't think it's. I feel like it would have made more of an immediate impact in standard. So I'm wondering if maybe it's missing some pieces in standard. I don't think
people are getting it. It is mythic.
Oh, people were not missing the boat on how stupid this card was.
They're buying the single, but I don't think people are cracking it as much. We've each opened one, right? Or do you now have two?
No, I have one.
Yeah,
but I think it's a matter of people weren't going to miss the boat on this like they missed the boat on Oko.
No,
initially, this is obviously a powerful card. I think, and I feel like obviously powerful cards like this, if they're going to make an impact that is scary, it was going to happen right away. So the fact that it hasn't happened right away in standard, I don't know so much about Modern, Pioneer, or even Historic or Explorer.
Right,
but obviously it bears watching.
Right.
But
I think people are talking about the card that's also made a splash that's going to go up, but it's not so much in standard, is that Ledger Shredder. Like, it's a 2-drop, and whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, it connives. That's a Delver card.
Nick, we're not talking about the Phyrexian Praetor. We're talking about the Ob Nixilis Planeswalker.
Ob Nixilis Planeswalker. The Phyrexian Praetor is somewhat fairly powered and fairly... It's not like your damn...
It's not Jink Taxes. It's not Vorinclex.
No.
The new Urabrask, which is the one you're talking about, Nick, that is... that's a little more subtle. That's a little more build around. It is still a powerful effect.
Absolutely.
I mean, like in a commander game, you combine that with a Drannith Magistrate, and your opponents don't draw cards anymore. So
interesting to know. Thank you for that little tidbit.
Well, at least not their first card.
Right.
Like if they draw more than one, then they'll still get it. But the first, like their natural draw, they no longer draw cards.
Yeah. Ob Nixilis, yes, Nick. I mean, we're seeing some serious good stuff here. I mean, like I said, I think the Ledger Shredder is going to be a card that's going to go up. Not that we're speculating here. We don't, we're not MTG Finance, but it is seeing quite a bit of play in the more non-rotational formats. I'm going to drop it in a few commander decks because, how often do people not cast 2 spells a turn? And okay, so even if I drop it turn 2, by the time it gets around to me, it goes from being, I think it comes in as a 2/2.
1/3.
Oh, it's a 1/3.
It could potentially be a 4/6, but
by turn 3.
But if you're dropping it on turn 2, I mean that's unless somebody has like a lot of really cheap rocks, they're not going to be casting 2 spells the first go around.
Well, I mean, even still, it's good to have. Plus,
it's a powerful
flyer.
card.
Oh yeah, and it's a flyer.
Yeah. And it draws you cards, so I can definitely see the appeal, and it fills your graveyard if that's what you want to do. So obviously, if it fits the theme of your deck, it's gonna be an all-star in that regard.
I feel like this this fits into your little graveyard fun deck.
Which one?
You have you have a few, but
yeah, blue. I don't think I have any that are blue.
Really?
I don't think so.
Oh, I might.
The reanimated deck that I have is Abzan.
Yeah. I might throw it into the zombie deck. I would definitely throw it into
Wilhelm.
Yeah.
Or Scarab God, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I moved away from Scarab God. I'm using Wilhelm now. But I am definitely in Atraxa because, I love counters. Counters are my friend. So I'm loving where Standard is right now. I'm loving where I think and maybe, we'll talk about that maybe next week a little bit, is that we're kind of at the end of a cycle. New Capenna is the last set we get before rotation. And rotation is a long way away. But so maybe we can kind of talk about from a more bird's eye view the last 5 sets and how we feel, how has Wizards course corrected? Because this would be the first cycle since Throne of Eldraine where they realized, oh shit, we have a problem. And I feel like they course corrected very well. So, spoiler alert. What are your thoughts with New Capenna especially?
I think they did again. The last few sets, they've done a fantastic job with design. They've done a fantastic job with flavor and lore. The art has been amazing the last few sets. Again, I don't like Ob Nixilis aside. There hasn't been too many really crazy things that have come out that are like, oh my god, what the hell's going on? Like Wandering Emperor is really strong. Ob Nixilis is really strong, but they've just done a really good job with these last few sets, and they've sort of found the sweet spot where they can do powerful but not broken.
Right.
But then also, they like I said, they dialed it back, but they sort of brought it back up a little bit, and they I think they found that sweet spot. But I do have a feeling that the Brothers' War is going to crank it back up a little bit more, and we'll see.
I
if
think
it's too far.
I think Dominaria
Dominaria could too.
Well,
yeah, Dominaria could too.
With this rotation, we lose pathways. We lose. So I suspect we're going to get check lands back because we got them the last time we were in Dominaria. I think
we got the enemy colored check lands.
So I suspect
so maybe we get the allied ones.
Yeah, well, that's just it. I suspect maybe with Dominaria they might do enemy again because that.
No, I think they would do allied because if you think about it, this wedge this was a shard set with allied shards. So
that's true.
Having allied check lands would work out.
Yeah, it would. So maybe that, and then, but I wouldn't be surprised since Brothers' War also stays on Dominaria if Brothers' War does the others. So. I mean, because they're going to have to do some matter fixing.
Brothers' War could do that, or Brothers' War could be leaning heavily into artifacts.
Well, what's more in the enemy? Which has more blue, enemy or ally?
It's all even.
Oh, okay. Is it?
It's all even. Yeah, it's all even.
Okay.
But I mean, my thought is that they're going to be leaning into a heavier artifact theme in
Brothers' War.
In Brothers' War, and we all know that artifact sets never go badly.
No. So it's that I think we'll see sagas again in Dominaria because that's where they started them. So
that seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, obviously Teferi.
Yeah, Teferi
because Teferi rotates out. Yeah.
Well, Teferi and Karn.
Probably a Shandi.
Probably a Chandra. I wouldn't be surprised to see like some other planeswalker show up. But like Jace or. Can't do Gideon. He's still dead.
I think they could do
Johnny
into the Brothers' War. Ooh, I would like to see a Johnny.
Well, that's only if they do that whole time travel MacGuffin thing, which it sounds like that's what they're going to do.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. Again, standard. But here's the thing, folks. This is welcome to standard for the next 90 days. It's September is when Dominaria United comes out. So we have to go through June, July, and August without any standard updates. So if they have a bad standard, if something happens where something goes sideways, I have to expect a ban now. I wonder if they'll do the I don't see there's anything worth doing the pre-rotation ban like they did 2 years ago.
They did that because standard was just it was broken. Standard just was not in a good spot. And they had to do something.
Teferi was awful in standard. I mean you loved it.
Don't forget Wilderness Reclamation was part of that. Growth Spiral was part of that. I mean, it was disgusting. Standard's not there. Standard's in a much, much better spot right now than it was at that point. I honestly don't see any bans before rotation. I mean, obviously it's super early. I
think
right now
Abi could get hit.
Maybe.
I think Abi could get hit.
But nothing right now points to that.
Right.
So I'm not gonna paint the scarlet letter on his head just yet. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm gonna give the meta a chance to shake out a bit. I want to see if Ob Nixilis takes some higher ground. Right now, looking at the very early results, obviously this is like the first inning of a 9-inning game. It doesn't look like he's going to be a problem in standard, but again, super early. Most of the fans haven't even entered the stadium yet.
Right. Oh my gosh! I just had a thought. It's 90 days till rotation. I might let you win with Zakama. I might let you win 3 more games, sir. Because then that thing
I would
is
keep.
gone.
I would keep playing if I knew you were phoning it in.
Because then he goes to the retire. He gets retired.
You act as if it's such a horrible thing.
I know. I'm just kidding, though. All right, let's pivot off of standard. Let's talk a little bit. Now, I didn't have time to put the slideshow together, guys, so I can't show you the cards. But you can go to the Secret Lair site and check it out. Wizards announced last week that they are making a Pride 2022 Secret Lair. So, oh, by the way, I did buy the one with the Atraxa gilded like foil. I was like, that's a pretty card. So I also will now have a Yidris deck. Yeah, so they're calling it Pride Across the Multiverse. So it's obviously intended to coincide with Pride Month, which is June. So the sale goes until, I think, the end of June, 51 days. So, and it is a celebration of the LGBTQ community. It has, what is it? Not
10 cards.
8 cards. So
10
cards?
10 cards.
Wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yep. So the cards are Triumphant Reckoning. So it's sorcery for 6 and 3 white. Return all artifact, enchantment, and planeswalker cards from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Decent card.
You know, all of these have new art. It has Savor the Moment, a sorcery for 1 and 2 blue. Take an extra turn after this one. Skip the untap of that turn.
That's an interesting card too. I don't.
Has
is that a reprint?
It's a reprint. I don't remember from where though. I think it's like a conspiracy card or something.
These are all reprints,
I'd have to
right?
look. I'm pretty sure they're all reprints.
Okay.
Yeah. There's Alicia Who Smiles at Death, who is a 3/2 legendary human warrior for 2 and a red. First strike, whenever Alicia Who Smiles at Death attacks, you may pay 2 Orzhov hybrid. If you do, return a creature card from power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, tapped and attacking.
An Abzan commander.
Yeah, Abzan commander, basically. There is Bearscape, which is
the greatest art out of all of them.
Yeah, if you have a chance to see the art of all these cards. So Bearscape's an enchantment for 1 and 2 green. You pay 1 and a green and exile 2 cards from your graveyard to create a 2/2 green bear creature token.
Beautiful.
There is Collective Voyage, a sorcery for 1 green with joined forces. Starting with you, each player may pay any amount of mana. Each player searches their library for up to X basics, where X is the total amount of mana paid this way, puts them onto the battlefield, tapped, and shuffle. So this is basically a nice group hug. Let's all ramp till 15 lands or whatever.
Yeah, and Nick, this needs to be in your Omnath deck.
There is Heartbeat of Spring, an enchantment for 2 and a green. Whenever a player taps a land for mana, they add 1 mana of any type that land produced. So it's the properly quote unquote colored mana flare.
Yep.
There is a Soul Ring. We all know what that does.
Yes.
And then there's Mana Confluence, which is a really good reprint. Tap, pay 1 life, add 1 mana of any color. So
well, they just reprinted it for Commander Legends 1, but the artwork is just spectacular.
That was a buy a box though.
Yeah.
So there weren't a ton of those floating around.
So there's 8 cards, not 10.
It is 8. It's the way that the scroller thing was working for me. Made me think it was 10.
So they all have new art. It's a little bit more pricey. It's $39 for regular, $49 for foil.
Yeah.
But I think the reason is 50% of all the proceeds, and this is why we're talking about it, because we don't usually shill for the secret lairs unless it's something big like this that's going to benefit, a great organization. And so 50% of each sale goes to the Trevor Project, which the Trevor Project it's a suicide prevention and crisis intervention organization for, LGBTQ youth, to help them kind of deal with the things going on around them, because everybody knows suicide is higher with LGBTQ youth these days. So it's a great organization. I wasn't gonna buy it because I don't see me playing too many of these cards. I really just didn't. But, you kind of won me over too on the fact that it's an organization that's worth buying for. So I probably will just get it. Maybe I'll keep the box sealed because I also think it's coming in like that special, rainbow.
It's coming in a rainbow, like a rainbow box.
Yeah, it'll probably be the last box for those actually. So, and it's pretty, again, the artwork is pretty incredible. So, I mean, Bearscape alone, but guys, the reason we're laughing, I wish I had put it on the screen, is that Bearscape has a bunch of, in the real Magic card, it doesn't really have this at all, but they're kind of doing a play on words. So it's a bunch of hairy, rather larger men laying around like hot spring and stuff. So I'm like, that's funny. You're muted.
I was muted.
Yeah.
I didn't know I hit the button. I was coughing. I didn't want to have to cough go over the air. They're actually that's actually the term for them is bears.
I know. That's why I was laughing my full head off at it.
And there are bears in the art. There's a bear
Yeah.
sitting on a rock. There's some clouds that are shaped like bears.
No, it's full of bears, dude. There's bears everywhere.
And there's bears in the hot tub, but these are different kinds of bears.
Yes.
But like the original art for Bearscape, there were literally bears everywhere in the art. They were all hidden.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
obviously it's such a clever, funny thing to do with it. I was just
it's very tongue in cheek.
Yeah. Because let's face it, I'm a hairy fat guy. Like, I struggled with women for years, but if I was leading that way, I probably would have been a much more successful person at times. But is what I was told. But no, I'm kidding. But yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful like organization. Like the Trevor Project, I mean, yeah, like, it's worth throwing some money at this, and you get the cards. So,
And if this particular secret lair isn't your cup of tea, I mean, you can still donate
to the Trevor Project. Yeah, the Trevor and the Trevor Project.
So there's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, but this is I think like whenever they do secret lairs that are for charities, I tend to buy them. I missed the one for International Women's Day, and I kind of wish I had picked that one up.
I actually got it, I think.
But yeah, this one for me was like, yep, no brainer. I'm just let me know when it's available, and I'll click it. And I think I ordered the foil version.
Yeah. Well, it's $10 extra.
Yeah, whatever. So. It means extra $5 for the Trevor Project, and I'm totally cool with that. So
right.
If I'm, it's sort of like a two-way street. I give them some money, and I get a thing in exchange, and this is pretty cool. And some of these cards, I think I actually would play, or actually need to be able to play. I think at least one of the commander decks that I have is using one or more of these cards, and Mana Confluence is a hell of a reprint. So
it is, it really is, and it's a cool Soul Ring. So, dang, I don't buy secret lairs. I don't like the idea. And you know what, Muertes, I can get behind that. I mean, I have bought a few. I think I've bought now. Well, I keep the boxes, so I've bought 7. I bought 7 secret lairs plus the one new one that I bought last week with the Planeswalkers in it. Or not Planeswalkers, but like the Commanders cards. So Yidris, Atraxa, and
yeah, I don't get everyone either.
Yeah.
I think I've only bought like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like I love the idea of the secret lair. Like, as far as the local game store is concerned, I don't like it.
Yeah, we didn't like it. We've been proponents of that going forward.
Yeah, as far as some of their card selection, I'm not always a fan. Some of them are just kind of meh. But at the same time, like, again, if it's for a charity or if it's something that particularly speaks to me, like I got the one for Stranger Things, I got the one for The Walking Dead. I'll get them if I'm interested. But it's nice because you don't have to get these. They're all reprints for the most part. I mean, now even the ones that are exclusive, you're going to get a chance to get regular versions of them. So they're doing that the right way now.
Well, it's not all secret lairs. It's
just the ones with mechanically exclusive cards, because they're reprints otherwise.
You mean the Universes Beyond? What is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They're mechanically exclusive. The ones for Universes Beyond.
I thought they weren't. Didn't say they were going to do it for all of them. That's cool.
All the ones going forward, yeah. And they went back and said they're gonna do it for The Walking Dead too. They weren't going to do that originally, but they stepped that back because it's the right thing to do.
Right.
So, like, basically the biggest reason that you would get them is that, okay, does the art style appeal to you? And it's basically kind of paying for an altar without getting an altar.
Yeah.
I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and you're legally allowed to play it. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're legally allowed to play certain altars as long as it doesn't like obscure the card text or anything like that. But it is totally up to you. And I don't think anybody really, would get upset if he's like, oh, so I'm never going to buy a secret lair. Then that's fine. I mean,
I can totally get behind that. And I mean, Huerta said it in his thing on there right now. He's like, I was helping run a store when, they released the J Spellbooks. Wish they would go back to making it a brick and mortar exclusive. I can get behind that.
They kind of did, but it's like they kind of nuked that halfway through because now it's the Commander Collection, and now I don't know if they're going to keep that going, because if you think about it, you look at the history of those spell books, which is what they were. There was Jace, which was blue, Chandra, which was red, Gideon, which was white, and then they did Commander Collection black and green. Those are the 5 colors right there. Are they going to do more Commander Collections? Are they going to go back to do more spell books? I mean, I don't know. So.
Yeah, I am definitely, I think I'll probably pick up, and I haven't bought too many foils. I did buy the gilded foil for those commanders, because I was, first of all, I love the gilded foil look. I think that's fantastic. And the idea of a gilded foil Atraxa, really, I did it for the gilded foil Atraxa. I don't think I could ever play Yidris, because that is so your identity deck that...
Well... I built it as chaos. You could build it as something else.
Yeah. I would want to build it as chaos because your deck is fucking fun. I don't know how else I would build it, but
that's not the reaction I typically get from you.
Dude, I love playing that deck in the store. Like I think in the store that deck is a whole lot of fun. It's tough to play that deck in spell table.
We'll see if your opinion changes, because I have yet to resolve a Scrambleverse with that deck. And Scrambleverse takes about 20 minutes to resolve.
Right?
Because especially if it's late in the game, because every permanent gets reassigned at random to somebody else.
Right. That
takes a while. And that's a lot of keeping track of hoping that nobody has the same colored sleeves as you.
Oh yeah. I get that. Wait, didn't you get a Scrambleverse off once with us?
No, that was a Warp World.
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh no, that was a Thieves Auction. It was a Thieves Auction,
okay.
And I actually wasn't even the one that cast it. Somebody else cast it from underneath a hive mind or something.
Yeah.
Or was it Eye of the Storm or something? It was exiled for some reason, and then that person was able to cast it. So yeah.
And I wonder why the chat box on the screen is no longer working. That's weird.
Which sometimes has issues.
I'm going to receive that. Yeah, I'm going to reset it.
I know you were mentioning Moite saying stuff. I'm like, I'm not seeing that.
Yeah, it's not in the chat box. It is showing up in Discord, I believe. So
nope.
No, he's in the Discord. Meat Hook became a thing. Yeah, Discord. The Restream bot is not. The fracking Restream chat. Wow. Yeah, Restream chat is not.
Restream's the single mom trying her best.
Sometimes Restream just...
Anyway, you help out, donate to the Trevor Project. It's a good cause, and you can't go wrong by donating to good causes.
Yeah, exactly. So, yep, there. Yeah, Nick, you show up in my Twitch chat, but you're not showing up in Restream. Wonder why you Restream. Hold on here. All right, testing some stuff here. All right. Yeah, this is weird. I figure out why that's not working, because that's a problem. All right, moving on. So that's kind of that. So let's go ahead and move out of here. We're going to go to combat. We're sitting at 51 minutes. We'll skip combat because we already kind of covered a bit of that. Maybe we'll do that next week. But let's still pay some bills, and then we'll be right back.
When toxic culture has you down.
When you're just looking to laugh and have fun.
Kick back and enjoy watching a video game.
Or just make some new friends.
It's time to visit the Geek to Geek Media Network,
a community of podcasters, streamers, and bloggers.
Well, more of a family than a community.
All dedicated to geeking out about the things we love. Things like
video games,
Star Wars,
comics,
movies,
K-pop,
Disney Plus,
Keanu Reeves,
new,
or whatever our community decides is the next best thing.
That's right. We have a great online community on Slack and Discord where we chat about our weekly geekery with listeners and viewers.
And each other.
Yep, and each other in real time. And we can't wait for you to join us.
So come check us out at geektogeekmedia.com.
And escape toxic fandom for something much more...
Keanu?
Yes, Keanu.
When toxic culture...
Combat phase.
And we don't have combat, so back to me.
Main phase.
All right, so Twitch chat is not going on screen. So I can see Twitch chat. It's not even going into the Discord, which is really...
See how it is.
Yeah, this is...
It's all good.
Restream is kind of screwing it up now, so I got to figure that out.
We
press on. So like nails.
Yeah, I suppose.
So let me see here.
Just gotta be careful because that glue will actually eat the enamel off your nail
Yeah, it will.
if you're not careful. I don't know how I know that.
Here, I don't know how you know that either. That's insane. Okay, so
Yeah, there it is.
is it showing up now? Hey,
It's on LOL from Nick.
All right, good.
You can try Park if I see everything.
Yes, it's now back on the screen. Because I work in IT and I make things go. Okay, much like the Apocalypse, I make it go. Moving on, but that's for post game. Let's talk a little bit about the Baldur's Gate Commander Legends. So,
Sure.
as many know, is tomorrow the stream?
No, I don't know.
Because
I know,
I keep hearing like next week is the like real preview week, but something's going on tomorrow.
I think it's a special stream. They're showing, I think, one card on like the command zone or something. The problem is like half of the set's already been leaked.
Yeah.
So I'm almost willing to say it's probably a 50-50 shot that the card they're going to talk about tomorrow people have already seen.
Right. And here's the thing, guys, we're not being jerks. Aramis and I made a decision very early on in the show that we don't want to encourage non-wizard leaking, unless they've gone out for a few drinks first. Haha.
Yeah, and they forgot that.
But I mean, so if it's not an official preview released by Wizards, we tend not to cover it. We came up with that during the when the Nyx lands got spoiled from so it was during like before Throne even probably.
Well, it's basically like we won't deny that the leaks have happened, but we won't go into detail as to what they're talking about until the card actually gets previewed. And can say, yeah, we saw this about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And we don't shill for Wizards, and they don't give us preview cards. They don't even know we exist. But the fact is, we just kind of want to encourage properness. So, and yes, Muertes, I'm also kind of hyped for 40K. I don't know how I'll feel about it per se, in that I don't play 40K. But I love the idea of taking something like that and kind of turning it around on its ear. So I'm all for it, and I'm really happy with Baldur's Gate anyway, because with the release of Baldur's Gate Commander decks, yours truly will be owed a bundle box from his co-host. I will have finally won a bet. So
yeah, you're gonna have to wait until the fall to collect though.
What do you mean? Why would I have to wait till then?
I mean, unless you want a bundle of Capenna.
Yeah, I'll wait till the fall for Dominaria. Are you kidding me? Unless they make a bundle of Commander Legends, I'll be like, yes, go spend $100. Let me ask you.
I think that they will.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: as far as content goes for Baldur's Gate, so we're very excited for Baldur's Gate. We haven't decided what our content's going to be yet. A lot of that's going to have to do with our person, pulling the curtain back. Kerwin's has always sponsored our show, and while something like maybe a collector booster we went out and bought, I don't foresee you and I buying collector boosters of Baldur's Gate. So, but I kind of want to do a booster box showdown with Commander Legends. So
yeah, the it's going to be like Commander Legends 1, so it's going to be 20 card booster packs.
Yeah.
It's going to be, I think, only 24 packs in a box, and I think the box is probably going to cost about twice as much as a regular box.
Are they set? And I would assume we want to do set booster to try to get something out of it.
There's not going to be set boosters.
Oh, it's just draft boosters, right? Oh,
I think it's just draft boosters. I think. I'm not. Don't quote me on it, but I believe it's just set boosters or just draft boosters.
Oh, Matt Hart, thanks for liking us. And hey, it did it. It did the thing on its own. I didn't have to hit the button. Matt Hart liked the stream, and the widgets work.
Yay! I didn't see it over here, but yeah.
Commander Legends set boosters. Battle for set booster box is 121 on TCG Player. So I imagine, yeah, and it's 18 packs. I imagine that would be what we would want to do for the showdown. Because again, I don't think either one of us want to buy a collector booster box. You might buy one actually. I don't know that I will.
Well, that's will depend, one, entirely on what's in the set, and two, how I can, if I can swing that.
Right. How we can sneak it under Pamela's nose. Got it.
Well, I mean, it's there is a certain point where I'm not going to buy something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the MSRP is for collector booster boxes, but it's probably 400. I would imagine, or probably 350.
Especially if it's anything good. Yeah.
Let's
and
see.
I mean, given the leaks. I mean,
right now they're
leaning in
going
that
for
direction.
337 on TCG and 356 on Amazon. Yeah.
Woof.
Yeah. You could buy 2 set boosters for that and get a lot more of the cards. Because, I mean, then again, too.
I could buy a dual land for that.
Yeah. Parkman, there's actually been some talk. Wizards is talking about going back to an MSRP. And that was on
that's right. That's why it's more expensive. There's the 11% increase across the board on certain products.
And, that could be something, because I don't think we've talked about that. I think that came out during one of our mini hiatuses. That also could be something we kind of tackle during this kind of downtime is, the 11% question. But, yeah. So, guys, let us know what you think. If you want to see us do a set booster box showdown of Commander Legends, we're obviously... I think I want to do 2 Commander Legends shows, maybe one pre-con, and then one. I kind of like what Dave did with this, or like a sealed night where we okay, everybody go get 6 packs of Commander Legends and build your deck.
It'll be tough with that because the way they're doing the pre-release is not sealed; it's draft. These packs are built
for
more specifically for draft. Yeah, it's going to be hard
for
to
us
do.
To draft.
It'll be harder. It will be harder to do a sealed experience with that because the way the packs are done, when you do the pre-release, I guess you're getting 3 packs of Commander Legends and you're drafting it. That's the pre-release.
I'm just gonna put this
a
out there. And so
pod.
wait, your draft is your draft. There's no sideboard.
Well,
your draft is
always
60. No, if you're getting 3 packs,
it's a 60-card commander deck.
Right. So you're drafting. There's no sideboard. So
you're forgetting lands.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay. I hate draft. I'm horrible at draft. I'm the worst at draft. I'm not even that great at sealed, but well, we'll figure something out. But from a content perspective, I'm gonna let you ride that. That's a hell of a feat. You can ride that for a while, sir. And hey, it got you to stop talking about 15-1. So
15-1. Oh, that was great. You guys remember that story? Let's talk about that again.
Oh Jesus.
That never dies.
So that's kind of that. The last thing we kind of want to talk about is a little bit. Now, Explorer's been out for over almost 2 weeks. It's on Arena now. I'm kind of curious what you all think. Let us know in comments or in the Discord, because I have been playing Arena. I have been playing Standard and Explorer. Not so much Standard because I don't want to spend money in Arena. I really don't. I'm going to use my I've got I think 6 draft tokens available to me, and the pre-release codes. So for New Capenna, I'm going to do the draft thing. But Explorer, I mean, I had a ton of cards for Explorer. So I've been kind of playing that. I put together a Winota deck because why not? And
it's the resident boogeyman of the format.
It's a beautiful thing. And I also put together a mono red based on the Wizards archetype that we used to run around Dominaria. Or not Dominaria. Oh yeah, Dominaria was like Wizards red.
Yeah, kind of.
So, and I'm having a blast. I'm having a good time. You know what? I'm not laddering. I mean, I'm on the ladder, but I'm in the bronze, so it's kind of all kind of weird anyway. And I think people get really pissed you're playing Winota in bronze, but I'm having a good time again. Huh?
Everybody's got to start somewhere. If you're on the ladder, tough shit.
And I'm having a good time again. I am playing best of 3, and as I understand it, best of 1 Winota is far more salty.
Degenerate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. The way Arena is built,
it's better
if you're playing on the ladder, too fucking bad if something comes up that you don't like.
Yeah.
Because you're on the ladder, it's cutthroat. That entire program is built to win.
Right.
And it gives you 0 rewards for losing or experimenting. So if you're on the ladder with your little pet deck, you're gonna get stomped. And you're really not allowed. You're not allowed to feel bad about it, really. I mean, because that's just how it is. And I don't agree with it at all. I mean, you should be able to go into something with a brew and have fun, but that's just not how the ladder is constructed, and it sucks and it's stupid, and I hate it.
Right.
But I haven't had the chance to play Arena since I didn't reinstall it, but I hadn't touched it since December, so it took a while to update. I probably have to update it again now since it's been about a week or 2 since I logged in. But partly that's just, it hasn't been because of a disdain of the game. It's been mostly just I haven't really had time.
Right.
I want to get back in and play a little bit. I have just a metric fuck ton of draft tokens to use. I have so many packs to open from the past few sets that I haven't opened. I think I have like 100 packs of like
Midnight
Strixhaven to open.
Oh wow, no shit.
Something like that.
Well, that would be great.
There's some set that I have so many packs to open.
Yeah. So, I mean, I definitely, you'll hear us talk probably a little bit more about Arena going forward. Again, we're kind of both coming back. We got out of it. I'm not going to lie to you. I've never bullshit. Neither one of us have bullshitted on that. When Historic and Alchemy happened, we both got a little sideways. We had some feelings on that. So, fact is, you know what? Wizards has done something right. I am at least going to give them better player numbers by showing up. But no, I'm not. I've gone free to play. I really have. And it's hard because there's a part of you that wants to spend gems and wants to put money in for gems and be able to get like a collection, buy like the 15 packs or whatever. Not doing it. I can't do it. I can't justify the predatory nature of its economy. So I'm going to do the F2P for a while. So that's another reason I'm not making content really for them, is because I'm free to play. Like there's, the content's going to be really freaking garbage. So, yes, and Nick's right. Alchemy is stupid. That being said, if you haven't rolled up Arena in a while, roll it up. You know what? Like, we want to encourage Wizards when they do something right, just like what they did with the pre-release. I really feel strongly that, this is a step in the right direction. Hopefully it's the freaking nail in the start of nails in the coffin for Alchemy. But here's the thing. If you're realize this. Do you know what Explorer was called, 6 months ago? Historic. Okay, it was historic. So Explorer, if you were one of those people bitching about what they did to Historic, welcome to Explorer. All right.
They more or less fixed it.
Yeah. And they're going towards Pioneer, and I'm a fan of it. So that being said, because we're already about 10 minutes over, let's go to the end step here and start heading out.
End step.
All right, as Aramis and I are rolling up our play mats, putting our cards back in the boxes, and taking the pizza boxes over to the trash, because damn it, your mother still does not work in this Spencer Gifts, in the back corner of the store especially. We want to remind you that we have some very good triple IPA, sir. We want to remind you we have a Twitch channel where we stream all sorts of content, including the content you're watching right now. Just look up the PlanesTalkers podcast channel on Twitch. Like and subscribe with us there, please. We'd really appreciate it. And there you'll see all the shows we do on both Magic as well as some other geeky games. Neither one of us has streamed in a while, but I'm really going to try to as my schedule kind of stabilizes from this whole work from home thing. You can also follow me on Twitch at Mindcrime73, and I'd love to have you there.
I don't think I can follow that. I think that's I think we've peaked. I think that's it. So we're just gonna skip the rest of it and just say goodnight. My goodness.
Oh, you should tell them about the Discord.
Yeah, okay, fine. Discord.planestalkerspodcast.com. Go talk to people. They're really nice.
Yeah.
And Twitter's at PlanesTalkerPod.
Yeah.
You know, that's where we are. But seriously, we have a great community. Check them out. It's great. Twitter's awesome too. But Will said some things that so
that made you think about. Dude, I worked in a Spencer.
Mother's Day was yesterday, dude.
I know. Well, you know, I didn't say your mom. I meant like your as in the listeners, not yours or mine.
That particular body's not even cold yet.
No,
okay?
I know. Neither's mine, really. And mine's in 9 years. If my personal Twitter is at WR Benson, I mean, you know, I don't really tweet all that often. But I do follow some cool people. And of course, you can always follow us on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/PlanesTalker. Like and follow our page there. Don't forget as well, we do have our Playcast. This Wednesday is our pre-con show. And where it is, yes, you are game one. Tune in there Wednesday night. If you want to play. Oh, wow. Parkman, careful.
I saw that.
Careful, Parkman. Yes. As bad as my sainted Irish mother is at times, where I have to yell at my wife and be like, "You realize you're talking about my sainted Irish mother? I would not mess with sainted Latin mothers. That's a whole other." Yeah, you don't mess with.
All I have to say is drunk later.
Yeah, you don't mess with those people. You mess with nobody. The Italian moms and the Latin American moms. You don't mess with the sons, man. They will hurt you, and that's not being ethnocentric or anything. It's just my experience. So don't forget too, we do a Playcast on Wednesdays. Commander Craft, tune in there on all of our channels. So YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. Better on Twitch though. I think it's a better experience. So check us out. Wednesday night will be our pre-release show or pre-con show.
And finally, you can send us emails. By the way, you're a marked man, Park.
Am I? Yeah. Mark, you're Parkman. There's a reason Parkman doesn't play. He's afraid we just tackle him.
But there's 3 emails you can use to contact the show if you want to contact us for any reason. Maybe you have an idea for the show, suggestion, comment, anything. We'll read on the air poorly. So the main email address for the show goes to both of us. It's podcast@planestalkerspodcast.com. If you'd want to email one of us individually, you can be will@planestalkerspodcast.com. Or if you wanted to send a heartfelt apology to myself, you could send it to Aramis at planestalkerspodcast.com.
And we will read that heartfelt apology on the air. And I'll read it in a funny voice. So
there you go.
All right. And on that note, we want to say thank you again for listening and hanging out with us tonight through the Planestalkers podcast. We will be back next Monday, we hope. With more news and stuff. I'm sure we will, because we'll have Baldur's Gate stuff to talk about. And definitely, again, the pre-con show, if you want to get in, time is running out. We're going to probably finalize tonight or first thing tomorrow. Go to our Discord, discord.planestalkerspodcast.com. But for Aramis Press, this is Will Benson saying thank you for listening. Thanks for laughing. Thanks for having a good time with us. And we'll catch you again next week. And reminding you to keep some of your mana untapped, because you never know when you'll need it. Take care and have a good week. Bye-bye. And I'll play a weird sound effect so that the people listening now know that we're doing something else. Let's find a fun one.
Are we at 140?
We are at 140, episode 140.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Well, this will be our sound this week.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Welcome to the post-game show, folks. And to think, Parkman says, I'm completely sober. Well, I cannot say the same. So this went down easy, and yeah, I am definitely, yes, I'm enjoying tonight. So, let's see. So, dude, yes, episode 140.
Got it.
And let's see, I'm going to save my
it's traversing the ether now.
Very good. So, dude, you saw Picard and you saw Strange New Worlds. What did you think? Spoiler alert, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, yeah. Cool to see Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton.
Cool to see Wesley Crusher.
Will Wheaton.
30 seconds.
Yes.
Will Wheaton.
Okay.
Overall, I think I'll say the same thing that I said about Picard season 1. I enjoyed it, not quite what I expected.
Right. I don't think it has rewatch value for me. I don't think I'll watch it again.
I tend not to rewatch things.
Okay. Oh, I rewatch stuff all the time. I'm doing a rewatch of Next Gen right now.
Yeah, I'll put it this way: there are very few things that I will rewatch.
Right.
Deep Space Nine is one of them. But
Orville comes out next month, man. That's also Trek. Wait, are you in on the Orville?
No, I've never watched Orville.
Do you have Hulu?
No.
I might give you my creds to Hulu.
I don't have time.
Dude, it's better than any Trek except maybe Strange New Worlds. I'm not even kidding.
I still haven't seen any Rick and Morty. I seriously don't have
that's
time.
true. Okay, I get that.
So I would say I don't like the direction they took the Borg.
Right.
I don't like how they kind of just pushed reset on how the first episode was basically the last episode.
Right. But I think I got to episode 6 and was like, okay, this is where that's going. It's going to be Girardi underneath the mask. It's going to, I was like, yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I thought Q was a little too touchy feely.
I actually kind of like that. I actually kind of like that because it sort of puts everything he did into perspective.
Well, I get that, and I'm cool with that. But it seemed, and I said this in the ride home. My problem with Picard is this: it could have been 3 episodes.
I think that, but I also think like I know part of the reason is because obviously it's Patrick Stewart,
right?
And he's up there in age,
right?
But I feel like Star Trek Picard it's always the away mission. It's never the ship.
Yep.
So it's about him. It's not about whatever ship he's on, which, okay, fine. But I really would have loved to see more than just 2 scenes with the ships in space. Like that's me. Like for me watching Star Trek, I love seeing the ships flying through space, doing starship things. I would have loved to have seen more shots of the Stargazer or the refit Excelsior or, all those other ships that they had, instead of just basically you clumped it together about a minute of footage. Well,
and here's what I said. And again, this is coming out to your Patreon feeds as soon as I edit it. It's all on my phone, so it takes a bit. I realized something watching a second watch on Picard of the season finale, and that is this: Picard is an awesome character. Picard is an incredible character. Picard is a morally good character in that his morals and his code are strong. And he's wonderful in relation to the other characters on the Enterprise. And that's what made him good. Otherwise, he is this over incredibly moral hero that anything he does seems almost Pollyanna-ish. And we don't care about the side characters as much. The one thing they failed at was making us care. Whereas I think if they had done a show called Riker, where you have Riker because if you think about it, Picard didn't have an arc in Enterprise or in Next Gen very much. He had a few, but he came in so perfect already. He was already such a virtuous character that his arc really consisted of things like, how does he handle children? And is he going to end up with Beverly? That was about it. Huh? No,
it also, how does he handle multiple lights?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's such a virtuous, strong character. That is a hard character to take into a solo show. Whereas if you take someone like Riker, who had an arc all through Next Gen and all through the movies, if they had done a show about Riker, I think everybody would have been a lot more. He's easier to write.
There was originally a thought about that after the Nemesis movie.
And I'm here for it. I think Frakes should get a show. And so that makes me have hope for season 3, because them bringing back
everybody.
Yeah, and those are the characters we care about, because that was also the other part is I'm like, this could have been 3 episodes because you could have bypassed, you could have had Cristobal scene be Cristobal scenes in 1 or 2, half of one episode or a third of one episode. They had to stretch B and C subplots so much that by the time we get to episode 10, And again, also, Star Trek doesn't work in serialized storytelling overwhelmingly so. Star Trek would work better as serialized storytelling, much like the DC universe did, where, yes, there's an overarching story, but there are many one-off episodes. There's a monster of the week. There's a thing here of the week. There's a problem of the week to solve that Picard didn't do. And I think that's what... It was a 10-hour movie, and you're just like... You don't care. I didn't care about Girardi as much. I mean, I love Alison Pill. I mean, I cared about Seven, but I spent 4 years watching Seven. You know, and that was the problem I had. I think he was the wrong choice for heading up his own show. I think seeing Will Riker interact with 6 new people would be a lot more interesting because Will Riker is not a perfect, virtuous character. Will Riker has a bit of a rogueness to him. You know, just my thinking, you know, but I'm excited to see next year because I think we'll see that. And I also think they will go on an adventure, you know.
Yeah, well, and we already know that there's not going to be a season 4.
Yes. So his ass
done
died.
after this.
Yeah. So
they're done after this, but I think I agree with you on a lot of the points. I do feel like maybe if there had been more episodes, they could have done more different things. I don't know. It feels like
they spent too long on Earth. They should have gone back they
spent too long on Earth. I feel like the time travel part and being on Earth and fixing the problem is fine and good and great. I think that story was still good. They did spend too long there. I felt like there could have been a couple more episodes, again in space.
Yeah,
like, you know, Picard doing things because apparently he was like, you know, the head teacher at the academy.
Right.
There could have been a couple episodes with oh shit, I can't remember the character's name. That's Elnor. Thank you.
Yeah.
Could have been some episodes with Elnor on the Excelsior.
I think that was it too, and that you know what, this is a good place to pivot. The only other thing I'll say about Wesley Crusher is I didn't like that because it literally they could have cut the scene, and the narrative would not have been impacted. I don't think they're going to use either one of them in season 3 because Will Wheaton has said it, and so is Corey. They're not using either one of them for season 3 now, unless they're going to make another show about travelers.
I think the whole point of that scene was to close that loop in the story, yet also leave a hook there in case they decide to go back to it later.
But it was just, and it was like giving Will Wheaton, like, you know, hey, do the Ready Room and we'll pay you half of what we would pay somebody else, and we'll give you a cameo in Picard. Okay,
maybe, yeah, but like I think they did have to close that story thread,
and they had to close Will. They had to close Wesley. I get that.
Yes,
and don't get me wrong, and I say it again, not using Will Wheaton for season 3 is stupid. I want to see Gates McFadden react to him. I want to see.
Maybe okay, but this may be what they're doing. Maybe he's not going to be a main character. Maybe he will make a couple of guest appearances throughout the series. That would make sense because I had forgotten that that's what had happened to him. That he joined the Traveler. So I think
it was still a lame thing.
Yeah, it was kind of lame, but I think this sets it up nicely for him to pop in from time to time,
right? And
maybe that's where Cora shows up.
Yeah. So, but let's pivot because I do think too, Strange New Worlds again. Spoilers.
Yes,
but I loved it. I fucking loved it.
I have a question about that.
Okay.
Is the guy who played Spock the same one who played Spock on Discovery? Because he looks different.
Yes, it's Ethan Peck. I don't think he got his hair cut. He had the back of his hair. I think it was his COVID hair. It's Ethan Peck. It was Ethan Peck.
Okay, and like his face looked different.
Yeah, I think he kind of bulked up too because he was going to do a shirtless scene. He kind of, you know,
or maybe it's because he was in a beard most of the time.
Yeah, that's part of it too.
That's probably what it was.
He is. And I'll lay this out there right now. It's Leonard Nimoy, Ethan Peck, Zachary Quinto. Zachary Quinto can fall off the planet for all I care. Ethan Peck is an incredible Spock. I loved it. First of all, this is what I was talking about with regards to telling a story with political undertones and not hitting us over the head with a frying pan. I got the allegories they were making with this new world. And they did it in such a way to where I was like, And it made me think. And and this is where I realized Star Trek should not be serialized like Breaking Bad or The Sopranos. It needs to be serialized like TV, like, DC TV shows, where, yes, things that happen impact later episodes, but we're not telling one continuous long story through 10 episodes. They're going to go world to world. They're going to have their cake and eat it too. They're going world to world, but shit that happens will impact them.
So Deep Space Nine.
Yes, exactly. And I loved it. I thought, Anson Mount, here's the thing. Here's how I know he won me over. I completely forgot that his hair looked like shit. I was like, because during the promos, I was like, really? That doesn't look military to me. And
Starfleet's not really.
Yeah, but Jeff Hunter had, he had kind of like the crew cut.
Jeff Hunter, which one was he again?
He was the original Pike. Or Jeff. Yeah, it was Jeff Hunter, I think. Jeffrey Hunter. Okay. So, and his original Christopher Pike, I mean, he had like the, the crew cut hair and stuff. I really liked it. I'm intrigued. Yeah, it was Jeffrey Hunter in 1965. What about you?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. I've never watched the original series, so
yeah.
It's kind of an introduction for me of the original Enterprise. And I like the way that they've done it so where it looks like the TV version of the Enterprise on the outside for the most part, except it's it's updated to look more somewhat realistic.
Yeah.
I thought I love the opening sequence. I think that was really well done. Because I like how it takes the original theme and sort of makes it more like triumphant and exploratory. The casting is good, and so far the bit of story that they've told, I was engaged, and I really thought it was like, I like how they did a nod to Discovery, saying, "Yep, this happened, and whoops, we made a big fucking mistake. We got time to fix it." So they're already showing that consequences, and it's a good way to kick the series off. And I'm hopeful to see how it goes. I mean, I've enjoyed all of the quote unquote new Trek so far, minus the last two Abrams movies. Right. Actually, really, all three of the Abrams movies were okay.
Interesting, because I would have thought you would have liked the last one. The last one was the most Trek out of all three.
I hated the last one.
How could you hate the last one? It was literally the most Trek out of all three.
I hated the last one. I thought it was terrible. I was like, all right, 10 minutes in, they destroy the Enterprise.
Yeah. And that's a Star Trek 3. They did a Star Trek 3, but a better Star Trek 3.
Yeah, but I think the way they destroyed the Enterprise in original Star Trek 3 was miles better than the way they did it here. It was just like, okay, unstoppable force rips a ship in half, 10 seconds in, whatever, they're dead.
Right.
And then it's just the complete suspension of disbelief when they played Beastie Boys over the loudspeaker.
I get
that's
you. You
what
have
disrupted
me there.
the fleet.
You have me there. I will
like
give you that.
That's the MacGuffin that saves the day is the fucking Beastie Boys.
Right. I just loved it because out of the three, it felt like they were on the ship. They were exploring. It was a 5-year mission. It felt the most Trek to me, that one.
My problem with JJ Trek is that they are action movies with a Star Trek skin.
And that's been my problem with Discovery. That's been my problem with Picard to some extent, is that they went more action than Explorer.
At least with Discovery, they're trying to tell a story.
Right. But it's a 10-week, again...
I really enjoyed Discovery this season.
I didn't catch all of Discovery this season yet, but definitely the first two. And again, it's hard because I know what happened in the last half of the second season with the Pike stuff and all that. I didn't realize that they showed him in the Iron Lung, which you don't get now for somebody who's watched the original series. That part where Pike is burned that you see in his memory. He looks like the Pike from the Menagerie, which was an original series episode where he was burned from head to toe and they put him in kind of an iron lung. It's a very much a callback to that, call forward to that, I guess. And it's a gift for those of us who have watched it. And I love it because he's not going to die. He thinks it's his death, But what happens is that he becomes so badly burned that he gets put into an iron lung. He can't really communicate except with a beep. And in the Menagerie episode, they show pieces of the cage, which was the original pilot. And then the episode pretty much ends with, because Spock took the Enterprise without permission to put Pike on the planet where the cage is, because the way the cage worked was they get to have their own reality. It gets to create their own reality with telepathy, so Pike can move again and be, a full person again, as opposed to in his lung.
Here's my problem with. I do have a problem with Discovery. My problem with Discovery is that minus, I guess you can kind of discount the first season, but basically every season since the first season, there's been this one big bad that's going to destroy everything.
Yeah, they're involved in every universe destructing effect ever created.
Unless Discovery stops it.
It's Kurtzman. It's shoddy writing from Kurtzman.
I'm not gonna lump blame on any one particular person. I am not.
I will. It's Kurtzman.
Well, I don't like doing that when it comes to shows because there's too many people involved.
It's still Kurtzman.
But I do think.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll stop.
I lost my train of thought.
Oh, sorry. You were saying that the one big bad throughout the season.
I don't have a problem with an overarching villain. I don't have a problem with a big bad. The problem I have is that it seems like the rest of Starfleet is completely fucking incompetent.
Right.
And okay, I get it. Discovery's the hero ship, plot armor and everything. It always survives. But I mean, even Voyager got the shit kicked out of it every now and then. Deep Space Nine had plenty of issues. It's just I feel like they've hinted at showing other ships, but none of these other ships ever really actually do anything.
Right.
And I get it. It's Discovery's show. It's just I feel like every big bad doesn't have to be a universal ending big bad.
Right.
It could just be, hey, it could be a war. Like the Klingon War was something that would have been really cool to see, but they really didn't show much of that. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons that I really enjoyed Deep Space Nine so much is because there was the Dominion War and they actually showed battles in the war.
Right.
And there was loss, and you could tell that the Federation was teetering on the brink, and it felt like it mattered.
Right.
Whereas with Discovery, it's this big wormhole thing that devours planets. How do we stop it? I don't know. Let's spend 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, Stamets is the only engineer on the fucking Starfleet that can understand anything, and he just figures it out in like 20 minutes.
Right. And I think that's the problem I have with Discovery too, is that especially now that they're in, what is it, the 26th century or 28th,
32nd century, or something like that. But like
why not explore? Why not go
Right.
back and take Discovery on exploring missions? And that's why I'm excited about
It's supposed to be a
Strange World.
science ship, isn't it?
Right. But still, science ships do exploring. Like,
But that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a science vessel.
yeah, it's like Strange New Worlds is going to go on exploring missions. He says it's 5-year mission. It's the first 5-year mission of the Enterprise,
Which is interesting because the Enterprise is a heavy cruiser.
right? And it's designed not just for, well, the heavy cruiser was always designed for exploring. Constitution was always designed for exploring, but could also do defense.
Yeah, but that's the thing with Discovery for me is that
Yep.
there needs to be more exploration, and there needs to be more. I feel like there needs to be more involved from other entities in the universe that's there.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, I have enjoyed the character stories. I have enjoyed the visuals. I have enjoyed the music. I think it's been good overall. I think it's been good. Like, there are glaring issues with it, yes, but for the sake of enjoying the show, I it's easier for me to compartmentalize and put it aside than it is for other people. I think that might just be the way my brain is wired. But I sit back and I'm like, all right, I don't like this part of the story, but that's okay. The rest of it's really good, and I will enjoy it in spite of it.
Right. I'm kind of the same way.
I feel like
I'm
Strange New
excited
Worlds
for
so far, one episode in for Strange New Worlds, I don't see any glaring flaws like that yet. But we'll see if something pops up. But in the meantime, it was a great first episode.
Yeah.
Great premiere.
The one change I would make is that, yes, I understand you have to make the bridge look like it's a 4 it's forward of where we are now. Okay, when they made the original Enterprise, the idea of touchscreens didn't exist. I get that. Okay, so you have switches and knobs. Absolutely fine. I feel like the Enterprise bridge on this one is too large. Like, the one thing about it was the Constitution class, it had a smaller bridge. And this one just feels like, shit, there is a ton of room.
I do like how they sort of like explained that away, having the switches and knobs, saying that because what was it? It was in Discovery that they're like, oh yeah, it had all these, but then something happened. We have to switch back to this because it just works easier.
Yeah. So, well, it was
they made
Hollow.
It work. I was like, it was very clever. I was like, all right, cool.
Well, the Hollow screen is what it was. They were like, we have to use the view screen. So I'm all in it. So I hope you guys dug that. This again is the patron stuff. This will be in your patron feeds later. We'll probably talk about episode 2 next week a little bit and stuff and whatever else we want. So I think we'll end the broadcast now, though, because we're at 10 o'clock and I'm tired. So thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Again, tune in Wednesday. You're not going to want to miss it. So pre-con show. And if you want to play, hit us up on our Discord, discord.planestalkerspodcast.com. Anything else, Aramis?
Oh, that's it.